Hello and welcome everybody to the semi-finals of the Hogs of War League Playoffs 2023. Tonight I am joined by Axpy.
Hello! Goddamn, you kind of scared me with that intro.
Keeping you on your toes. And we do have Ant-Man here as well, but I believe he's still getting coffee. Nevertheless, we have 5 beautiful rounds to go through. Tonight we're playing on Cold Front, Chill Hill, Grassy Knolls, Pitch Invasion, and if we do go to a 5th and final round, it will be on my baby, that is Barnyard Blitz.
Your proud baby.
Yes, my proud. I know I mention it every time, but it's true. And the good thing is that if we don't get to see it in this round, we will definitely be seeing Barnyard Blitz in the next one, because that will be the very first round that we see in the second game. So it is ADB versus Revan, and game 2 of the semi-finals will be Mephisto versus Nicholas. That one is once again pre-recorded, but we do have both Nicholas and Mephisto in the chat, and everybody else. Angurio, KB, Komori, just Mashe's in there, Aga's there. Welcome, guys.
Everyone's in there. How's everyone doing?
That was perfect timing, Ant.
And I'm back.
So good, so good. But yeah, Cold Front is our starting point. ADB is raring to go, I can imagine, but he's starting with the Scout Med Scout, Gunner Sapper, so getting rid of one of those gunners quite early on. Meanwhile, Revan is going with the Med Sapper Scout, Para Scout. So we have doubles for both players when it comes to scouts. What are your thoughts going into this round, guys?
I know for a fact that Cold Front is not an easy map, and it's kind of a map where people tend to take the couple, but you know, best of 5 has a whole other economy compared to best of 3s, so yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off so soon, Ant, but yeah, I try not to spoil all of the lineup for each round early on, but the tactics that are being used by both players are quite spicy for best of 5, having to distribute the limited amount of scouts. I mean, you've got that one extra para, so you don't need to worry about that. And we do have Chill Hill, which is kind of para central. But Ant-Man, if you were to play on Cold Front right now, if you were in either of their positions, what would be your first move?
Uh,
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
A sip of coffee to start?
If I was there looking at ADB's lineup, would just be go mental with poison. Put it simply, it'd just be trying to just poison as much as possible.
Yeah, I think I know for a fact that both of these players know where the healing items are. I'm going to be very interested to see who... Oh, what's going on there? Be very interested to see who exactly will receive the healing items first. Sorry, I just realised you got disconnected there, Ant. That was...
Yep, we're good. We're back
okay,
on now.
All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often, but as long as it's not the players being interrupted, I guess that's all that matters. A lot of people saying that Cold Front is actually one of their favourites. And nice to know, Peggy. It's nice to know from Pin Software. Nice, appreciate it. But yeah, I think we should be good to go.
Yep, I'll tell the boys.
Yep.
Sounds good. The audio levels we have checked, they do seem good. Game audio should be fine. Won't be any ear rapiness this time or complete silence as we had in the quarterfinals. Hopefully all technical difficulties will be out the window. But once again, big thank you to everyone joining us this evening. Yet another Wednesday evening of Hogs of War, but we love to see it. So Scout Med Scout. So I have a feeling ADB is going to want, if he is going to go first here, if he gets that benefit, he will be looking to collect the medical darts. Again, it all depends on spawns as well. So if you can get, I mean, he's far away from the health crate, and he's fairly far away from the medical dart crate. He could make the jump and get the self heal from here, but it will be ADB to go first.
It is kind of a huge deal starting in this map, especially with the lineup so similar between the two players.
Yeah, I mean, Revan's he's gonna look. Revan will actually get the MoMA, so I'm curious to see how ADB is gonna try and. I guess going into like turn 6, he's going to maybe heal the med. I don't know, because the Moma reversal and everything is kind of out the window. That considering ADB is not going to go first, and this is also a strange turn as well because Revan can now just go ahead and collect the health crate, but it then puts pressure on him now to get that health crate and get the Moma at the same time. So we'll see in the next 20 seconds. Does this pig have the legs to make it? Place your bets, boys. Okay, Med's
like
right there.
this.
He's fine.
It is right there, so it looks like an easy job.
Yeah, I make it seem so dramatic. So I could kind of see what ADB was trying to do, but I guess, is this going to be his second attempt to now poison? Okay, no, it's not. Have I written it? Oh, it's Revan. What am I saying? Yeah, sorry, Revan has
ADB missed his
Zapper.
turn.
Yeah, and I think you've been disconnected again, Ant-Man.
I think I might have been.
Yeah.
It appears to have stopped.
Right. Well, on my screen, the sapper is moving, so
There it is.
it's moving towards the barrack, which has the sniper rifle in it, and where the previous scout was also located, and the TNT.
Yeah.
And I got disconnected too. I guess.
There we go, we're back.
Okay, so
No, someone desynced.
I think that.
Oh, maybe it was you, Ant, that tried to reconnect.
Might be.
I don't know. Revan stopped the game, so I guess the two players will have a.
Yeah,
Up
this
and
seems to be the
very
one
rapidly.
issue with net play. It does not enjoy spectating whilst also doing something else at the same time.
Nope.
It's a bit of a pain for both player and commentator. That Italian internet, ooh. Well, hopefully we should be okay to continue.
Looks like, yeah. And we have a TNT from the engineer on the scout. I don't know if you're up to date.
We missed him moving to the
Yeah,
scout, but yeah.
He moved from his spawn position, which was basically on the other side of the map, to here. Collected the sniper rifle and then TNT on the scout,
Okay.
which was first on ADB's lineup.
So now, having had that poison removed from the health crate, which again just seemed like a bit of a bizarre turn of events, if I'm honest. Given ADB's knowledge of this map, I'm curious to see what he's going to pull out of the hat that I'm kind of missing, but I don't know, maybe he was banking on his medic being further away so that Revan couldn't have gotten the MoMA, but he took a chance and it didn't necessarily pay off, but he at least has one dude poisoned now.
I mean, we did some practice in the morning, so I can tell that I feel like the main focus for him was collecting the medicine dart, so that
That's true, yeah.
He can reverse the MoMA, like force it, not with a.
Well, are we now going to see a double from Revan, though?
Yes,
That's a
indeed.
beautiful double.
That's a nice bounce. Yeah, I can see what he was doing, but I feel, I guess it makes sense having a separate player that is not your own orderly with the healing, and oh my goodness, that could have been very costly. But
And also the second healing item in the red sand.
yeah, I'm surprised that shouldn't cost him. He should still get this shot away, but I'm still. I don't know, I'm surprised by Revan, because I know that he knows a lot of the skips that can occur on these maps, so for him not to have collected the self-heal is quite surprising, but I don't know, maybe it'll pay off for him and he'll work around that, but he has to get rid of one of these scouts ASAP, because the faster you can the faster you can remove those poisons, the better. Goodness gracious!
We got another one for the soundboard. So the soundboard, ladies and gentlemen.
Remove it, boys.
Remove it.
Rattle them, boys. All right, yeah. Aga thinks that he's predicting that ADB has already lost this map. But starting on Chill Hill is not going to be that huge advantage for Revan. I mean, I have to say that I beg to differ, purely based on the lineup. But we'll talk about that in round. We'll talk about it in round 2. For now, Revan dealing the damage.
Yeah.
ADB did mention his quarrel with Sappers, and that he is going to be chancing it a lot tonight with the shrapnels. I mean, I can tell he's been practicing with you, Axby, because that was a perfect hit.
Oh, god damn! Oh my god!
Oh, he
That
gets
was a
the kill. Jeez,
I was not looking. I was looking at the chat for a moment. Jesus.
I think that was a 90, I think.
Based on the amount of 20s, that's at least a 90. If not even more.
The scout is deleted. Revan does have one more, but he now needs to... there's nobody really to heal in his vicinity. So,
which probably means that scout didn't even take a turn, which...
Yeah, no, that was his scout that was going 5th, so it went straight back to the med.
And now we have a potential for a healing medicine dart on the scout, on the medic.
Yeah. So I figured it would come back around and pay dividends for ADB. This is the big benefit of not going with the medic in first. Second can pay off. It's just how you work around that, really. Because I guess... I don't know. I guess, Revan was completely caught in a trap there. Because there's... Even if he had not tranquilized the med and tranquilized somebody else, the medic could have then gone and healed it and removed it. So either way, it was kind of lose-lose for Revan.
The only viable play would have been to tranquilize the scout, which would have been next.
True, but then ADB's medic still would have been able to take a turn and kind of counter it. So, I don't know. It's
Scout. This scout is getting healed now. Would have had his turn straight away. So that would have been probably the play. But the scout being low health, so maybe you. Oh, it wasn't on 18 actually. So that wasn't even an option.
So moment is reversed. And those darts...
Yeah, there was actually nothing you could do.
yeah, exactly.
The only target you could tranquilize was the scout, but the scout was at 18, so the trunk would have killed the pig. So
yeah, and it was one of those instances where even if you had resisted the urge to tranquilize and just damaged anyway, again, the medic still would have been there to halve that damage, or at least heal the 20. So Revan is now focusing in on the medic. He needs to be very careful of his hitboxes. That looks too far to the right, and he's missed it. No.
Damn.
This seems to be paying off for ADB. I mean, the shrapnel on the scout was just a beautiful hit as well. So that's just added to his tally of... I'm not even going to call it good luck, because it's genuine skill of picking the right lineup. And he's doing a nice 360 possible no-scope. No, he's going for the barrel.
360 barrel.
Yeah, which is perfect because the power is close enough for that to deal. I think that's 54.
53.
53 damage. Yeah, the power's kind of just been killing almost completely unnoticed.
Yeah, I think that was what Revan was hoping for. He can get a kill here if he's able to... Oh, actually, no, that's annoying. He can get a kill, but it would... be much more beneficial if he had one more jetpack. So he's going to try and nudge them together and then get the kill. It depends how far this guy slides. I think that's too much. Yeah, he's too close. So he is going to try and push them. That's a little bit... Okay, that's fine. It's fine. He is dead, and that is perfect placement. Full 20. Little bit of splash on himself, but 5 is going to be okay.
And that's gonna be, I guess, the medicine dart again getting recollected from ADB with the gunner.
Yeah, that's now he. Oh my god, this guy is going to be stacked. Self-heal plus medical dart.
He's got the self-heal as well.
Yeah, that's slightly terrifying for a gunner, but we'll see how that plays out. But I think with the double health advantage, I mean, Aga thought that it was over for ADB, but I feel like this is. Not over yet for Revan, but it's looking very, very much in ADB's favour, because if he can plant this in the right spot, he could get insane amounts of damage. If he can get the explosion... Explosion, hello? No explosions, okay.
No explosion.
No barrel.
I thought it was maybe in range to trigger it. But I guess if we look at the placement now, if ADB can show us... Yeah, look at... I mean, that's...
Just shotgun the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or... if you really want to be as efficient as possible, maybe a grenade launcher, but...
it wouldn't be enough to trigger it. I mean, he'd have to be stood, like, where that white patch of snow is, like directly in front of the barrel.
Could work. He's definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't think this is worthwhile. It's gonna be too much to. It's not gonna be enough to trigger the barrel.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But I guess he is trying to just nudge him next to it so that the next turn he can get the kill.
Just get him out.
It's other side, and it's his turn as well.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It was a really good idea. The thought was pretty damn brilliant.
Yeah, I think it would have been more beneficial to just shoot the barrel. You would have gotten more damage, but nice.
I know what I would have done.
I'm a bit scared to ask.
Of course, shrapnel, and hoping that it went.
Oh man, I don't even know. I don't even want to know what kind of carnage that would create. But with the final sniper rifle shot from that crate, the orderly takes 60 as Ant-Man is disconnected once more.
This is going to disconnect me in a second.
Okay, then medic is now going to heal the gunner. So removing poison, taking it back from 100 to 125. And probably gonna continue with the MoMA. And yeah, of course, ADB stopped the game.
Much appreciated, ADB.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. And he can still maintain the MoMA and Trang. So this has been, I think, one of the best examples of how you can utilize the medic going second. Again, it is specific because the crates available and the, I guess, ease of collecting them does play a factor into it. So it's not exactly a strategy you can use on every single map, but definitely the best example I would use.
I totally agree, and also I would add that, I mean, this probably the plan was stronger with going first than going second, but it definitely, he took a risk and it definitely played out. And this kind of situation, when it's an in or out game, you might put your bets and place your bets and just pick a strategy. If it works out, it works out.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this is
exactly.
definitely what happened.
I think the health pools now are significantly great. I can see that Revan is trying to get the skip on the med. There's no way that ADB can reduce his medic down below 15 to avoid the skip. But this is going to be a perfect double. Beautifully done. And this para is perhaps the most useless. No jetpacks. He is going to look to just straight up kill the med, which is equally a good idea, but cannot get the right angle from that position. And with
I feel like Revan is a little bit out of ideas, and I think he's in his position right now. Everyone would be.
Yeah, I feel for him greatly. It's a difficult position
Also,
to be in.
I just realised Revan can't get the skip on the medic because he doesn't have a scout anymore.
He does have a scout. He's in the corner.
He does. 140.
Yeah, he's hiding in the corner by the trees.
Oh, sorry, yes, I just spotted him.
Because in his previous turn, he thought about poisoning him and then was like, well, he's on 60, so if he can reduce him down to 20 and then get the skip on the next set of turns. I mean, he's not out of it, but I'm terrified of this guy. I thought ADB was going to heal the power for a second there just for shits and giggles, but I feel like this turn specifically is going to seal it for ADB. I mean, Revan can still prove me wrong because that orderly is still sitting pretty on 80 HP. So if he is able to remove one of the poisons from one of his other pigs, either the sapper or the para, preferably the sapper.
Yeah.
But okay, it will be a skip.
I would like to.
And is he going to try and put it next to his own medic to kill him as well?
I mean, this
is that what ADB's trying to do?
Yeah, this could be it. This could be his method of avoiding his own skip turn whilst gaining a skip and damaging the med. Is it enough? No. But it should be enough to damage the medic on Revan's team. Sorry, what were you going to say, Axby?
Yeah, I was saying that the situation is looking great if you're in the boots of ADB right now, but
in the red camp.
But the thing we discussed also today, it is important to not let your guard down, especially in those situations when everything feels smooth. That's the moment when you have to start to worry and especially to not be the one who lets loose and makes the mistake.
It's very true.
That's how ADB is going to avoid the getting a skip turn is just by tranking the scout.
Yeah, it's been 3 skip turns in a row for Revan now, and that means that this scout is free to poison the med, which should, in theory, seal it for ADB in this first round. As long as he can keep his cool, like Axpy was just explaining, you can be in control of any game throughout, but all it takes is one just sudden change of events to switch it up, and I think Revan is accepting his defeat, giving himself a skip, and
feels like white flag right now.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I mean, we've seen some crazy turnarounds where it's looked very one-sided and switched up. We saw in the second quarterfinal, Nicholas and Angurio on that graveyard shift match where it was all going one way. It was Nicholas was getting just destroyed in every aspect, but slowly but surely he was sneaking in those poisons, and it paid off for him in perhaps the best way possible, winning the round. But effectively, we've got to call it at this point because there is not much that Revan can do. His scout is going to take double damage from both TNT and potentially the med's death here. Or in fact, he could even be pushed off the map. ADB could have just plonked it onto the scout and he could have slid off, because that area up there is very dodgy. In fact, there's potential here. No, okay. He was in the way, but... Okay, you see the med's gone. The med is going to die. That's all you need. You just need to put him into that area and he will slide down. It's one of the big downsides of this map that does annoy me a little bit, but...
I'm guessing there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, and I'm surprised, if I'm honest, because... Okay, no, Revan's just... full on, it just wants to move on. That's fair enough. I thought maybe he'd try and body block and stuff, but... Never mind.
No.
Well, in that case, we can wholeheartedly change the score already as ADB blasts this pick in the face with a rocket launcher. What a way to end the first round on Cold Front. But it will be...
After the last of a pig that dies for poison.
Oh, there it is. There's the...
So ADB takes round 1.
4 scouts in the 2 lineups could have ended also. Can just end with a -2, -3 per side in the scoreboard.
That's quite possibly the maddest Cold Front I've ever seen, and that was brilliant to watch.
Yeah, well, getting the scouts out of the way, I guess. ADB takes round 1, and we must now switch ISOs. So we will be taking a very small break to change that up, and then hopefully we should be able to fly through the next 3 rounds. But it will be Chill Hill up next. Stay tuned. So welcome back, everyone, to round 2, as we move on to Chill Hill, of all places. As you can see, Mr. Angelo is going with the double para, single scout, double gunner strategy, so we can already tell what his thinking is. But as I mentioned in the previous round when referring to Revan's lineup for this second round, he is going with the med double para, sapper gunner. So you can instantly tell what Revan's plan is going to be, and he does have that first turn advantage. So, Axpy and Metalman, thinking about Revan's first turn, in that he will look for one of those paratroopers, do you feel like ADB still has some kind of advantage unless Revan...
Is Medic going first in
Revan's lineup? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with double para, there's no big deal. Since Medic's gonna go for the paratrooper, probably for Mule, then the other paratrooper is taking one of the big boxes.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. Okay, do you think that with his first para turn, he will look to... Oh wait, no, because he can collect the F-Rain as well.
It really will be depending on spawn. If you will manage to do the
also,
trank and grab the F-Rain.
It kind of depends on whether Revan...
He could get, the first pit box and then destroy the other one, which would leave ADB without F-Rain and without pit box.
Yeah.
So it would be huge.
Also, I know that there's the skip. You can get to one of the artilleries without a power.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether Revan's just going to do that and just armor up his medic and an artillery.
Oh,
maybe that is his plan.
that would be
so many options.
Yeah, I actually really like that strat. That is a nice one. We don't see it enough. The defensive medic # where is KB? But
if I was any good at doing what Nicholas does and skipping things in maps, that would be what I'd be doing.
Yeah, well, I guess.
But I'm bad at this game.
Chat, what do you think? What do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to go for the standard body block on the para? Go for the Poma? The Mopa? Do you think he's going to go for the standard body block and then try and destroy or damage the other artillery? Do you think he's going to put the medic in there if he gets a good spawn? If he can get a defensive med in the artillery? I doubt that one significantly just based on the spawns, but I guess we'll see. If ADB's ready to go, then
Tell him.
yeah. I mean, he is at a disadvantage going second. But it all depends on Revan's speed and whether or not he can find the necessary pigs and crates at the same time. Because it is possible to collect the F-Rain and get in an artillery and use it within the same turn, but you have to be incredibly quick. And don't forget, there are also health crates on this map as well, which nobody seems to collect until fairly late on. But I don't know, we'll see.
Well, I like Moscow. For
Moscow.
the American Scout.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. That sounds like it sounds like a code name. Code name Moscow.
Called name Moscow. Yeah. Probably somewhere in Russia.
Exactly. So this med is close to a health crate, but he's not going to have enough time. I mean, they're pretty.
We have to remove the voices once again. Well, we did switch files, so.
Yeah, he has a paratrooper to his left. The other one is on the other side, and I think he is going to stick with this guy. Although he has to make sure.
Looking for Mule.
Yeah, Mule is in this corner. Yeah, so he has to make sure.
Mule is the first power as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he needs the perfect turn. Grabbing the F-Rain and then get one of the artilleries and destroy the other artillery.
Yeah, but his position, that's probably the worst spawn you could have, because that's a long way to go to collect the F-Rain. I mean, he can collect this crate, which is switched for the... He's got a self-heal, which is going to be very helpful.
Yeah.
So
if he's not going to be able to get the F-Rain and get in the artillery, now I don't think.
Oh, well.
And a disconnect probably.
We won't know, because Ant-Man's internet says no.
Oh,
Right.
dear. My internet is saying no to everything right now.
Revan trying for the 100-pound shell to the other paratrooper of ADB. Slides into the minefield and dies. Oh, that's huge. So now it is back to ADB Scout. Holy.
Ant-Man,
Well, that's
are
quite
you
obvious.
reconnecting or no? Oh, you are, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can share the screen eventually if needed. So let me know.
I think we're okay. I think so.
Okay, so this is what happened now. The 100-pound shell on the artillery. He did hit the second paratrooper for ADB, and it did slide in the minefield. So basically now ADB is in the second turn, but with his third pig.
Okay.
So he's not able to get the pillbox, and neither to destroy the pillbox from Revan. So this is a huge position for Revan now. He's gonna
so Revan's now just gonna take both artilleries. Yeah,
that's something we do not see very often, but it is yet again just another example of how powerful the lineup can be if you get it spot on. This, I think, is yet another example of why I love the pig pool so much, because a lot of the guessing game is trying to figure out trying to counter effectively what you think. I mean, that's a terrible shot. Trying to counter what your opponent is going to bring, and you don't know what
Yeah.
ADB was gonna bring here. I mean, a lot of the time, I know that the paratrooper double paras on Chill Hill is kind of the meta, but because we're so early on, like the med is a good choice for the first turn. So trying to get some kind of block on there is a good move, and it's paid off.
Definitely paid
I love
off.
how
It was like-
KB's in the chat like, Revan's gonna find a way to screw this up, don't worry about it.
Ye
God
of little
damn.
faith. But at least that'll be one artillery less for ADB to deal with, and that actually puts him in a perfect position. Oh, I thought he was going to slide into the minefield, but all he needs is a slight nudge, and that will be a
Just-
kill.
Still 2 turns to do that.
Yeah, and ADB's got a long way to go into the center as well. But this is yet another perfect spot here for Revan. It's all paying off. And I feel once again we have yet another match with ADB where the first 2 rounds are very much one-sided to the player going first. Near enough every
Is this
mine is
gonna be a
detonated.
kill?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
will be a kill.
Yeah, I mean, damn. So AD is down 2, no medic. The opponent has a medic, so probably some tranquilizer are gonna come. 1 artillery up. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to do to come back if eventually that happens. But
Yeah, see, with
I feel
this
like
paratrooper-
Revan, just nailed the perfect start for this map.
I'd be tempted just to get on top of the artillery and just hide up there.
That would be a very much
honestly be my play.
It wouldn't be a terrible move. I'm surprised ADB's not looking for the kill. He is looking for the med damage, which is fine. Get a solid 80 here if he can get the full 60, which he does.
As with getting on top of the artillery, there is a quite major flaw in it that I found out practicing with Nicholas of all people. That you just fire a poison shell and then detonate it instantly, and your pig gets poisoned.
Oh yeah, that is true. I did forget about that one.
And I only know that because Nicholas did it to me in a practice match. I was like, oh, damn it!
How dare you! I thought I was safe.
I thought I was being all clever and I wasn't.
That's unfortunate. I could see Revan was maybe thinking about a body block, but when there's so little pigs, what shall he do? But no point of body blocking at this stage. Damage is good. And
Yeah, like I say, all Revan really needs to do is just deal the damage, and it's pretty much set at that point. Like, I can't see much ADB can really do.
Yeah, I still find it fascinating how this game was potentially decided within the first 3 turns. I do like those kind of matches. If you can get off to a strong start on the right foot, it will pay dividends in the late game. But as KB mentioned, Revan just needs to keep his cool and maintain his focus, because ADB pulling out a double. Oh my goodness. Gets
Out
a
of
lovely
nowhere.
bounce. I know, that was beautifully done. And the most dangerous pig on the field is poisoned. So,
It's the only one that can't be healed by himself.
yeah. Yeah, so it does remove the
The poison.
poison, but this is...
And
the
he's
most-
on 35 health, which is...
Yeah, that wasn't the best if he was looking for a body block there, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So this is where Revan needs to collect absolutely everything and pick his target wisely. Because he does not want to gift ADB any kind of easy... Oh my god, 7 jetpacks! We've heard about 6 jetpacks, but have you heard of 7? This guy is nudging them together. And I don't think he'll have time for another one, so this should be just a simple nudge, as the G-Man says, but his position is a little bit awkward, I will admit. But he will have chance to deal yet more double damage onto both, so even if ADB can push him towards the minefield, because he does have the high explosive as well, he can get a potential skip on the medic whilst pushing this guy into position, so I'm not going to count ADB out of this one just yet. And he is just going to... plonk it all onto the paratrooper unless he spins around, goes for the high ground. Look at the parkour skills. Beautifully done. And that's a little bit long. Tries to roll it back, but pushes him in the opposite direction. But the map
ends up in pretty much the same place.
Yeah. So Revan is sitting pretty on the high ground. Full health gunner, 35 poisoned scout, but look at this. If he can get this in between them both, that looks a little bit long to me. Yeah. So only 18, and this is what we're talking about. Nerves creeping in. KB, I know you saw that. Is he letting it slip away? I don't think so, if I'm honest. I think that there is maybe too much work for ADB to do here, unless he can pull off something insane. I mean, he's got some jetpacks.
Not 7 of them.
Yeah, not 7, but 2 is all he needs to create absolute chaos for Mr. Revan. Because if he had more time,
looking at orderly health as well.
Grenade launcher. Why? Okay, he's going for the other dude.
He's going for more poison.
I mean, that's also a good move because he's down to into the 30s now, so he will have another chance to get potentially 2 skip turns. This guy's still full health. The para in the artillery is still full health, so despite ADB making headway, there is a long way to go for him.
I think, like I say, I like the fact that ADB hasn't just... Because it would have been so easy for him just to give up at this point and think, oh, this is hopeless. The fact he hasn't...
That is true, but as we say that, as he collects both a high explosive and a medical ball, which he's going to say, screw you, I'm not going to lose a turn, my medic is staying alive. Hashtag BG's where you at. He got it, and he's got a sword of all things. Wow. Don't see that very often.
So, welcome, Caster.
Just got home from work. You have missed a fairly one-sided first round and a fairly one-sided second round. Both players that have gone first so far have been very strong, but ADB is putting up a fight and he's not giving in, even though the odds are very much against him.
I love that ADB just absolutely refuses to give up.
Yeah, a lot of players would have said, alright, screw it, I'm just going to jump in the minefield, or, you know, comedically slip down a hill into a minefield, but I think, yeah, Revan just has the firepower. He's got the healing items as well. Don't forget, you still got that self-heal from earlier. And yeah, as long as he can continue to maintain damage, it should work in his favor. But I'm not saying anything too soon, because even with all of his pigs alive versus 3 of ADB's, it can change in a split second, so you never know. You never know with this damn game. Oh, again, showing off the parkour skills. Both players knowing the majority of skips on this map. It is good to see, and he is looking. He could just get a scoop, but...
Why would you not just either machine gun or do a scoop? Yeah.
I think in that position, if he'd have moved himself forward... I mean, he is going to get it. He is going to get the skip, because I think that was just enough. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, so he's got the skip, but...
It is down now the medic's turn.
Safe always... Is the skip now just going to be undone, though?
Potentially. I mean, Revan doesn't need to care too much about putting his med into a bad position, just because he's basically one shot away, so he's going to remove the possibility of any more poisons. I mean, ADB, you could see why he didn't go for the scoop or the machine gun, because it would have put him in a worse position. But now those crates are available, so he's got to make the most of them.
Yeah, I feel like ADB is in a position that he needs all the resources that he can find.
Indeed. Make the best of what you can find, and self-heal is a big one.
Medicine
and a medical ball as well, so ADB is not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination. Because the artillery, I believe, only has one more long-range shell. And he's going to put this 50 onto the gunner. Interesting.
Yeah. Artillery basically left only with the techie shells. Oh, no, 2.
Okay, he's still got 2, okay. And that's the worst spot the ADB could be in. That looks good to me, though. No, it's too short.
It's too
He's
short.
16. Again, nerves creeping in, man. Nerves creeping in. This is where Revan needs to be hitting those shots. He was only on 38 HP, and that shell does maximum 60, so he needed to get it in the right vicinity. But this is effectively a free turn for ADB, and it creates more work for Revan now, because this pig is fairly... Was he on 20 something? I think he's on 22, which is not the best number for ADB.
Oh, I think that he was aiming for, a shot towards the minefield for the supper. Maybe that's why the positioning.
Trying to push him up there. I could sense my inner Iron Fox just going for like full power, angling it directly at the pig, and then just getting all the knockback in the world. But yeah, it didn't pay off too much. He's down to 18, so there's now 2 pigs.
KB, what did Revan do to you that you've decided to diss him this much?
He just sucks. I mean, that's a wee bit harsh. He's a fellow blue player. Come on, show some respect. No, I'm kidding. I mean, both of these players have met previously. Of course, they have been in the same group this season in Group A. It was ADB that took their previous meeting 2-0. Ironically, the time that they met before then was in Season 3, and it was actually Revan who came out on top. That game was 2-1, and it was on grassy knolls, of all places, that Revan managed to pull off the comeback. He was 1-0 down, pulled it back to 2-1, and we do have grassy knolls coming up next, so depending on the result of this one, grassy knolls might not have a massive role to play in this best of 5, but I don't know. The stars might align for either of these players to take it into the final. Healing items are plenty. Self-heal is coming out, and the body block. But the medic is left to limp to his teammate. Will we see another skip? Yes, well, it's barely a skip, just a hop. So, I don't know, man. This is too close for comfort. Iron Fox memes, yes, indeed.
Yeah, I feel like the 2 players in their first 2 maps prepared a trap, and it worked perfectly for both of them. Game 1 for ADB and game 1 for Revan. So I feel like ADB feels a little bit in an advantage, because the game 1 where ADB kind of supposed to win, it went a little bit smoother. Meanwhile here, Revan got a little bit more work to do.
Yeah,
will come out. In the end, it will be a little bit more, stressful resources or mental energies.
I think despite the massive advantage for Revan, ADB has put up just a massive fight to the very end. And I think if his paratrooper right now was on full health, then he would very much still be in this one. But 10 HP, 50, he's just hit the other dude, and that is yet another turn kind of wasted by the artillery for Revan. He hasn't been able to hit those shells when needed, and this yet again will give ADB the opportunity to dish out damage, finally kill the medic, and maybe heal? I would honestly look to bump myself up to full health, or at least as close as it can be, which in this case will be 112.
112, yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to maintain the hits on the sapper. It's a good move.
Makes sense. Maybe probably the sapper will not be able to, cancel all the 72 damage, so he can get the healing done next turn.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's 68 damage on the last 2 turns for ADB onto this single sapper, but he can effectively end it here.
It's gonna be back to the artillery now.
It will, but I think Revan can easily hop out and make his way over there. Even just a scoop will do. He should have plenty of time to do it.
Extra damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, 46.
Sadly,
46 barely be enough to see another turn.
Yeah, it doesn't end it in style. I think ADB can submit to his defeat, but he will never ever, unless he is incredibly filled with rage, kill himself, and he will continue to soldier on up to 46 HP now, which does put pressure on Revan to do more. He will need to jetpack and bazooka in order to finish this, unless he can magically pull out some kind of TNT, but that slip is going to be a little bit costly on time. So I don't think... Oh, he's got a rocket launcher, so he can just end it. I thought he might have something that he collected earlier. Which means that Revan does indeed take round 2. And we move on to where these two met last, when Revan came back from absolutely nothing to take the game 2-1. But in this case, it is Revan who draws it level for 2-2. Yep. Now, considering that we're on the same ISO, we do not need to take a break or whatever. We can just tell the guys to continue with their lineups, and it can give us a little bit more time for analysis. I mean, it was a pretty straightforward chill hill. I think it would have been a little bit more spicy if Revan had maintained that lineup, but it was ADB going first. Seeing the medic used going second would have been fairly interesting. But nevertheless, he maintained his composure despite those slight few mistakes with the artilleries, not hitting those targets. That's where I find a lot of players, their first 3 turns will be good, because they'll be able to collect themselves at least 1 artillery, but then it's actually being able to hit those shots, making those shots count.
And there's just something about the artillery. You go in it, you lose all ability to shoot anything.
Yes, suddenly the power bar makes no sense whatsoever. Grassy Knolls is up next. We have 2 fairly basic maps for rounds 3 and 4. It will be Grassy Knolls and then Pitch Invasion for round 4. But for now, ADB is going with the Med Gren Sapper Scout Para. Meanwhile, Revan is going with the Sapper Grenadier Sapper Scout Gunner.
I need to disappear for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
And
so no medic.
And I'm going to pray that my screen share stays on.
Well, if it doesn't, then we'll switch to Axby, so no worries.
Yeah, no worries. I shall be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah, big thank you to the 27 viewers on this evening. That is, I think, one of the records, I think, actually, for the most viewers, especially during a weekday. Massive thank you to everyone joining.
Definitely during a weekday, but I remember that we did hit 35-40 on final last year.
Oh, that's true. Well, for a semi-final, I ain't complaining.
Semi-final midweek feels pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, ADB bringing the pairing, so he wants to make sure that he utilizes those first 2 turns, and then a fairly even split between Sapper Scout, Para. Meanwhile, I feel like Revan, he's not bringing the pairing. He is bringing a Grenadier, but he's between 2 Sappers. So, I mean, trying to decipher that, Axby, what do you think about that?
I mean, we definitely had a pretty nice duel of shrapnels in Grassy Knoll back in the
good old days.
Yeah, last year's league when you had some games where you had your problem with your PC and you just...
Oh no, that was season 2. That was season 2.
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
How time flies.
Time flies away.
Yeah. So ADB will be looking for that Sapper.
Or the Grenadier.
No, I think he's going to look for that first turn advantage, because if he can... Okay, maybe not. Okay, yeah, I guess either choice is fine. Ooh, a little bit indecisive. He does know where the skip is. He does get it. Okay. But I'm really curious to see what Revan's first turn is going to be, because he must have known that ADB was going to bring a med on this round.
Is it gonna be? Maybe it is medic grenade to free up the Grenadier.
I do forget. Yeah, we do have the. Okay, so this could be an exact same approach as ADB's first round. Puts the Grenadier second in order to avoid the skip by healing. That's perfect.
That is indeed huge.
So yet another counter to the medic. And we have a Grenadier with some medical balls. That's slightly terrifying. Speedrun strats indeed from Caster there. And ADB can only really go for this guy right here. It's, yeah. It's not bad. But in fact, that is
nice cluster.
Perfectly done. And water damage. Doesn't get any lucky spins, but he will take that 97 damage. But this is where Revan needs to, collect all the resources around him. And,
especially the suicide.
Yeah, and ensure that he gets this hit on the medic. Because the medic is very close to the edge of the map, so it's not out of the question that he could actually hit him out of bounds here.
Yeah, with good knockback here.
You know, there's also a tricky position in the river, which doesn't feel like he's trying to do it.
I'm surprised at that, actually. I'm surprised he didn't try and go for the quick double tap to get that big knockback, but he's keeping him alive. I guess we'll see how that plays out. There are no... Yes, wait, no, I lied. There is one scout each for both players, so poison will come into effect. Yeah, beefy clusters from both players. I mean, ADB getting the knockback, and actually he's drawing. Oh, okay. Oh no, he is drawing ADB into kind of a worse position. I mean, is he fine? Okay, he does make it back. AI calculating route received. Beep boop beep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at that Sapper medic combo on the hill there, and yeah, okay, it was a good spot for ADB to get the shrapnel, but this should be an easy TNT plant for.
Yeah, just drop a TNT between them both.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit far, but instead he's going to look to nudge them closer together. That's going to be tricky.
I think the orderly is just going to go over the hill now, though, and end up down the bottom.
Yeah, and considering that Revan doesn't have any paratroopers, this is actually going to cause more work for him to get that kill. So I think he was banking on getting him into the water, but not enough.
Yeah, but 6 head jumps over a few turns is still quite doable.
It is doable, but it's that effectively takes up the at least 70-75% of your total turn time to get 3 of those and then do it again the next turn around. So it's not the best position for.
And the medic being where they are, right by the water, makes that way more difficult.
Yeah, everyone's just chilling up here. I think that's a bit too fast to get the first one, so ADB's making sure he gets the second with that poison. So are we going to see more bunching up, or are we going to see a potential for a double? Because I can see the medic lining up with the other pig, but it's not the best position for Revan to try and get the double. Because yes, he could connect with the guy up on the hill, but don't think it would then be enough. I don't think it would carry enough, I should say, onto the medic to poison him. But he is going to go for the Grenadier, of course. And good positioning.
Oh, if that was me trying to do that poison, I'd have almost stood behind the Grenadier to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was the angle I was thinking he might go for to try and get the double, but I don't think the power would have been enough to get both hits. Meanwhile, ADB looking to damage the Gren, trying to minimize the damage onto his own pigs from the splash. I think he actually hit his own.
He did 9 damage on his own pig.
Okay, I guess that's not too bad. 55 is the number, 40 is the damage. Will we see that happen, though?
Awful map.
Are we going to see water damage here as well, though?
Oh, there's potential.
For the Grenadier.
I think he's... Oh, he's fine.
It is.
Oh, no, he's not! The game says no. And Grenadier is toast.
Yeah, it is notorious. You know, the river where it bends in the curve, the pig will not be able to find a suitable comeback point. So
Yeah, well, this is one of the points where you separate the wheat from the chaff, as Revan ensures that the medic dies and looks to get the hit onto the Grenadier as well. That looks good enough.
That looks quite good.
Good
That was
enough.
very good.
And extra splash damage? No, but
Nope.
he is poisoned and the medic is down, so 2 heavy hitters. ADB will have a single turn here to deal big damage onto somebody. 48 is the number. So will he look to water damage himself to make sure? That is a good move. It does take up a lot of his turn here though. And body blocks. No, not looking for a body block. Needs to get this away though. Oof, playing it dangerous, living dangerous on the slippery tiles.
oof.
How do you
Another
even...
big old beefy cluster.
Yeah, but now ADB is in a slightly more challenging position, being on the high ground. I'm surprised, if I'm honest, at Revan. He is going to look for head jumps, but that position on the high ground there, it was a perfect opportunity for a TNT onto the sapper, and instead he's only got 9 seconds. So unless he can make that parkour jump move... Oh, yeah. Oh, he does have healing as well. I forgot about that. That's a good use of time with half a second remaining. Oof. And, oh, solid extra shrapnel.
What was that?
He managed to push him, and then it connected with the shrapnel that was flying at the same time. That was bonkers.
That was like 46, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would take that in that situation.
Any day.
Yeah, again, I'm surprised he didn't look for just simple TNT onto the sapper. He's still full health. And yeah, okay, the Grenadier he needs some head jumps, but you could probably save that for the dudes that are already on the ground. They're already there, and instead, this will allow ADB to try and get some form of body block onto the paratrooper, who's on 88.
The action is all around this hill here.
Yeah, doesn't get it. Doesn't get the body block, but look at the position for the scout here. That's instant water damage, but yet again we need the head jumps in order to get the skip turn. So if he can get maybe 2 and then whiz back up onto the high ground, plant a TNT onto that scout.
Ooh.
It's such an awkward position. He does get the head jump, but now does he have enough time? I don't think he does. Yet again. TNTs. Oh my goodness. He's trying to go. You can see the thinking happening in real time. He does get a 50 though, and pushes them together. So that was also a really good turn. Sorry, I do apologize for going supernova loud. I will lower my mic volume a tad bit for those exciting moments. And it will allow Revan to deal double damage, but at the same time, he still needs to do, I think, at least 2 more head jumps in order to get that skip, which I think ADB is... He's trying to avoid the damage onto his own pigs, but he gets 18. But that's actually worked out better for Revan now, because it's easier for him to get the double poison. I mean, just double damage in general. I mean, if he can get the poison onto both of them, then that is a massive, massive advantage. He does.
Yeah, and I think he's got all his head jumps on the ground.
Yeah, he gets to skip. So this is really paying off in Revan's favor. I'm really surprised, but the initial strategy, the Momo was the Moga was broken through that early medical ball. The skip is coming now for the Gren, unless the paratrooper can say no, which he will. Not before nudging this guy closer to his own sapper. And, ooh, this could work in his favor as well. So he's going to look to push them together and damage with a bazooka to get even more damage onto the gunner. But it's just whether or not he can push them both in the right direction, because there's a possibility that they'll split up. And, yeah. So, no extra splash damage, but he removes the potential skip on himself, leaving that crate vulnerable. It will be more medical balls, and yet more advantage for Revan.
Yeah, I feel like ADB has so little outs right now. Poison game is in favor of Revan, and every medical item is in Revan's hand. How can you do that?
Yeah, and he just needs to focus down the scout now, seeing as he is the healthiest player. But that is a perfect 50. Revan is, I gotta say, Revan is on fire right now. Because going into this round, it felt very much like ADB was gonna be the clear winner. But as both of these players have proved on round 1 and here on round 3, you do not need to put your medic first, or your strongest pick first, I should say, in order to gain the advantage. We're so accustomed now with the meta that the first turn advantage equals you are going to skip, but with the introduction of healing items and different strategies, it's turning out to be completely different, and I have to say, I absolutely freaking love it. It's completely different and not what I expected at all.
28 on 1.
Ooh, and that, man. Now I'm just thinking the paratrooper now is out of jetpacks, and we have 2 low health pigs for Revan, so he could be a complete annoyance right now and move himself to the other corner of the map. Or heal. Healing works too. Forgot about the medical balls. He's looking for that machine gun. I know he is. He loves that machine gun. Revan beginning to believe. Very true. ADB, I wouldn't say he's frozen, Aga, but he's kind of caught in 2 minds of... He went into this round kind of expecting to have that advantage, only for Revan to stick up the middle trotter and say, no, it's mine now. I am decapitated now. Nicholas feels like the skips should be enough to win it for Revan, as long as he can maintain his composure once more, as he did in round 2. ADB looks for the body block, dropping this guy to 40. Scouts on 29. So 12 HP onto this dude, who's gonna probably look for some safe damage onto the para, who was on 63 and is poisoned. So a TNT will be enough here, but he could also look to push him into the out of bounds area. That is exactly, I think, what he's looking to do. I think any damage here. Oh, that was that placement did not work out as he expected.
No, it kind of went up the hill a bit.
Yeah, I hate it.
Questionable, but
I hate it when it does that. Oh, what? Oh, what is this?
Jesus pixel.
Oh my god. That is
No
so unlucky. He's got to ace this jump though. Oh, I don't think he wants to risk it. He's got to though. He's got no more jetpacks. You've got to go for an ADB. You've got to make it over there.
unless he's just gonna stay there and just kill the sniper.
He could make it. He could make that jump. He's gonna say, nah, I'm gonna just take the skip. Unless, no, he doesn't fall.
Right.
Thought he'd maybe get the splash.
But now, what do? You've got a pig down there now who's just gonna skip their turn in a second.
You gotta close the game before it is back to him. That's the only way.
I think it's game over. The health advantage here is too great for Revan. This guy is now on 55 and poison, that sapper, so just a sniper rifle to the face will seal the deal. And the spirit of Grassy Knolls, yet again, very much with Revan. Like I mentioned it before, but the time that Revan beat ADB 2-1 in Season 3, it all started on this map. So could we see the same thing happen going into pitch invasion, because that's all that stands between Revan and the grand final of the Hogs of War League 2023, but we've still got a long way to go. As ADB desperately tries to get some head jumps in, but
I don't think it's possible.
Even backwards head jumps, they're just not viable when your pig is on so low health, so I think he's going to look to not even self-suicide, just try and get the shrapnel in. That's another solid shrapnel, though. It's been very effective with those.
The shrapnel game has been on it. But now, Revan can literally just skip... Revan can literally just skip his turns at this point.
Yeah, 2 turns. I mean, it has been very close. That scout is on 29, so yeah, we'll just take a flamethrower. So he wins this by a very, very fine margin. The last 2 pigs will skip. The other dude is on 1 HP. So it did indeed come down to the wire. But if round 1 was the perfect example of having your med second, this is the perfect example of having your grenadier go second to avoid the skip turn. Revan taking the high ground, taking the peak of grassy knolls in order to machine gun in the air. Why not? Go crazy. He's going to look to blimp hunt because he can relish this going into the next round. But he needs to maintain his composure because ADB will be going first. But it is Mr. Revan who takes round 2 and pushes the score up.
Round 3.
Going first.
Sorry, yeah, he takes round 3, goes up to a score of 2, and we move on to pitch invasion. My goodness.
We might all know how to play this game, but none of us can count.
Yeah, I've lost track of counting so many times.
Hogs of War League players in the chat room, by the way. Commentated with.
Well, we aren't going to skullduggery. It will be
Canyon.
It will be Canyon. No, it will be pitch invasion. And ADB this time around will be bringing a med para sapper paratrooper. Meanwhile, Revan is bringing a med para scout sapper. Now that is the really interesting point for me as to whether or not Revan can do something about the MoMA, because there are multiple paras on his team going second and third, so whether or not he's going to look to break up the MoMA on that second turn. Maybe he's anticipated it. And then having the poison on the scout on turn 4. And if he can poison the medic and then poison the secondary target, maybe one of the other sappers, then yeah, I don't know. And this is what I was saying. This is what ADB was kind of unsure of, in that he had a leftover sapper, I believe it was. He didn't really know where to place him and just kind of went, screw it, I'm going to go for power on pitch invasion. Going to go for the extra health, but whether or not that will pay off in the end with the first turn advantage as well, I don't know. So just trying to predict what is going to happen within these first few turns, because we've seen it from the first 3 rounds so far. Forgot what round we're on again. From the first 3 rounds, it has been within the first 3 turns that the game has kind of near, or at least the direction of the round has kind of been decided. But it will be, I guess, a standard MoMA from the first turn. Then either one of these guys will be collecting more than likely a medical crate, and if they have time, an airburst. And then it's going to be a battle of the sappers and the scouts, or at least the single scout. But I don't know, man. This map is it's very much like Skullduggery in that it can be very one way, but I think Revan needs to make sure that his pigs don't bunch up too much. That he, I think, needs to stay on one of the platforms. That is a big ask, especially that there is no poison from ADB's side. So he's if you stay on top of one of the platforms, if you maintain the high ground, you effectively bait your opponent to say, well, try and hit me from up here. If ADB had a scout, he could easily throw a poison up there and not have to think about him for a little bit. But because that's not there, I don't know. It's too spicy, but Revan needs one more round to make it into the grand final. ADB needs to win the next 2 rounds in order to make it that far. Will we see that play out here? I don't know. Boys, going into this round... wait, why is Revan going first?
Revan is
He is going first. Yeah, I completely forgot. So he has the advantage. I forgot amongst all of the...
You're focused entirely on keeping the discussion together, so...
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what's going on. Goodness, I don't know why I thought ADB was going first there, but yeah, that is going to play massively, which will now follow with one of the paras. Does he go for the health crate closest to him, or does he decide to nick from the looks of it?
He's going to nick ADBs.
Yeah, from the looks of it, he's going to take that high ground, to take the high position, forgets about the puddles. Can't forget about those. Don't forget about the minefield either.
He's going for the airburst.
Okay. I am curious though as to ADB's thinking. He's got his paras going 2nd and 5th. So whether or not that plays into his strategy. Oh, and that is a. I mean, you could
a slightly short airburst.
Yeah, it's still a 40. But that is where you need to be on the button with that kind of damage. When you're facing adb95 in the semi-final of all places, you need to make those shots count. So a little bit of nerves from Revan going into this 4th round. What a forgetter. I know. I'm caught up in the hype of everything. It's too much for me right now. I'm feeling for both of these players because, my God. And also
yeah, I feel like we are definitely seeing nerve from both players in this though now.
Yeah, because that hit was only that initial hit was only 25. Revan needs to still minefield, and that is what I'm talking about. Nerves, man.
I bet Revan is out in that chat cursing his head off at you right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bruh. I'm sorry about the minefield, but. What a mini-map's for, man. You're a paratrooper as well. You can see them. I know I'm saying all this and I stepped on a mine versus Mephisto on Hedgerow Warfare, but even so, you just gotta take it one step at a time. When in doubt, jetpack away. Just jetpack from the get-go. And that's going to be a huge advantage for ADB. I mean, it's quite lucky for Revan at the moment that the other para isn't taking his turn yet, but ADB will be able to capitalize and maybe even steal both health crates if he's feeling greedy. He doesn't seem like the type of player that would do that because he's... Ooh. Oh!
Bit of self-damage.
Unfortunate. Yeah. I love mines too much. I really don't love mines that much. I just feel like they are the perfect method of making you think about your strategy and position rather than blindly wandering from point A to point B, which was very much what Revan was doing in that instance. But this is where we could see a change up. I mean, a scout down to 37 already. That is huge for ADB because he can just remove the poison right now. In fact, he's going to look to try and kill the para, push him into the minefield. You could see it from the get-go. And as long as he can push him into the middle, he's looking for the mines.
I'm trying to work out where the minefield actually is, yeah.
Yeah, this should be an easy push, but he's looking maybe a little bit too far to the right.
I think that looks quite good.
He might get one. He might get one mine to detonate if he's lucky. Okay, yeah, he gets the one.
Yeah, just the one.
And the extras. All the extras. Detonate all the mines. The explosions. Major Grimley is smiling with delight, but there is some bunching up going on with some of these pigs, which Revan can capitalize on. Both sappers close to each other. This could be very, very nice.
Although the sapper from ADB's turn will be next, the one that's getting taken now.
That is a very good point.
if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, it will be his. No, it will be the para. So it is turn 5. I was right. My mind is
That was okay.
my mind is all over the place. Yet it is incredibly calm at the same time. So this is where. Oh, okay. He is looking to take out the scout completely. Just needs another jetpack, unless he's gonna look to heal and then damage. Not really sure why he went for the high angle, because that's going to cost him even more time. Will he even have enough time here? Because, yeah, that takes time as well. No, the turn is up. So the scout dies anyway. I made it more dramatic than it actually was, but... My goodness. Insert evil laugh. I'll save it for later. But for now, Med has got some healing to do. Para's not really in the best position, although he will be going... Actually, no, that's the third para, so there's still a possibility for ADB to get a kill and remove that para's ability to heal. But Revan needs to maintain the body block, and this is where things get really tricky for the player that has the Momo advantage, trying to think ahead as to how you're going to then continue dealing damage onto the medic after you've run out of tranquilizers is huge, because a single trank for ADB would be a big game changer. So, okay. Do I like that? No, I don't. I could see what he was trying to do.
Missed.
Yeah, I could see what he was trying to do, but he just needs to go for the damage here. He needs to get this shot away. That's all he needs to do. I could see what he was trying to do with nudging them all together, but that is a huge turn from Revan.
Yeah. That's a
Oh
big
my
airburst.
goodness. I mean, there's no more poison for him, thankfully, but that single sapper that is poisoned, that could be huge for him later on in this round. I wish you to voice my alarm. I mean, give me a script and I'll say something and I'll send you the voice file. How about that? But ADB... Ooh.
Wake me up, Penny Boy.
Wake me up inside.
Available in stores.
Save me, as one of these players will be saying at the end of this round, but this time Revan does manage to get the jetpack onto the para, so he does take his position, but in doing so he is also looking for the other jetpack. This is dangerous when you've only got 10 seconds left, because he's got to make sure that he backs it up and gets the damage in as well. It's a good turn.
He does very nicely.
Solid 80. And now ADB can remove both the paratrooper and the potential skip on his own sapper if he wants to. But instead, he's looking to hit the shrapnel. No, okay. Changing his mind. I'm thinking about that full health sapper on Revan's team. But if he can get the damage, if he can get enough for the death of the sapper, I can't tell if that was good or bad. I mean, damage on his own power is not great, but did he get the kill? No, he didn't. Hey, that was a funky turn of events. He probably should have just gone for maybe a TNT or, I don't know. Revan remembering the puddles this time. And standard TNT, trying to push him closer to the minefield. Is it? Okay, it could be worthwhile. I would just go for a shrapnel.
I don't think he's going to reach the minefield, but...
Yeah, he's going to look to take him out in one shot. And he does!
Oh, nice.
Beautifully done. That's what you got to do. Take the risk. Don't go for safe damage. Go for big damage, and it pays off. But the MoMA is reversed. Oof.
No one is there though.
No one is safe, and we're not done yet.
No one is even close for the ADB team, so it's just tranquilizer in the face and
But
back to the para.
Again, health crates.
Minefield.
Health crates. No one wants it. Why? Take a health crate, please.
No.
I beg you. He's still got a jetpack as well. I guess damage is more important, but I don't know. I feel like the position... Because if the paratrooper had the high ground right now, it would be so much more of an advantage for ADB. Because sappers are going to have a hard time throwing shrapnels up there. Even the bazooka from the other paratrooper is going to be a lot trickier. But instead, he's now out of jetpacks. He does get an absolute ton of damage onto the sapper, but the health crate is still sat there, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. By staying up there, you just make life way harder for your opponent.
And in destroying the platform, he's done Revan a favour in now gifting him the health crate, which he's running away from. Revan, what are you doing? Health crate, please. Revan, please. I beg you. No, he's got to do.
I feel like you're a little bit obsessing with it.
Maybe. Okay, he's got two. He's got two. I'll let him have that for now. Maybe if he uses it later, I don't know. But he's got to also deal damage onto the medic. Looks for the machine gun, switches to the bazooka.
Runs out of time.
Doesn't know what to do.
But now ADB is gonna... What's ADB gonna do?
I'm not entirely sure. He definitely wants to stay alive. That's for definite. I mean, pretty obvious, but I meant as in not killing his own pig.
And the game is basically changed side now. We have the medics available for the heal.
Yeah, and removing...
Yes, restores the MoMA.
It does mean that Revan is going to have to collect the crate that's dropped. I mean, that's also good splash damage. I have not sniffed Madness Gas, not yet anyway, Caster, but we'll see how far we get. But yeah, there's the Airburst crate. This guy also on 48. Again, health crate, let me scream it from the mountaintops. Health crate, beneficial.
I'm making the guess now. That health crate is not going to be picked up by either player.
Yeah, no. I know it's far away, but... he's... I just... with the MoMA going on too...
Pin, could you please scream health crate as much as possible? It's for the alarm clock for Aga.
Health crate! Please!
That needs to go on the soundboard.
Health crate, please. No, it's fine. I mean, ADB, he's still got a chance here, purely based on the medic's health and his ability to heal and trank now. 50 is a good bit of health to be on for this para. You can see the cogs turning in ADB's brain. He doesn't necessarily have to tranquilize the medic, but I would do to avoid any kind of poison. Sorry, any kind of healing. What is poison? I don't know. And now they're both on equal amounts of health. So Sapper on 48. Other paratrooper also on 48. And the med on 100. So there will be a kill here, which will mean it will be a 3v1. Med versus Sapper versus Para. ADB is not out of this, because he still has 2 tranquilizers, so there is still a ton of damage he can do. But how will he distribute those tranquilizers? That is the question. And with the crate dropping as well, that is also a big advantage. 2 turns could be gained. ADB, I think, really, he's in the driving seat, because he could get a kill here. And he's got a... I would honestly go for the Sapper. He's the guy that can deal bigger damage.
He's got to go for the Sapper, yeah.
But I think he's looking to maybe... He's thinking about body blocking. I would, honestly just go for the kill. You've already got the skip. On the med is also a decent idea because it reduces his health even more.
I like the med here. So
I don't think there was really a bad option.
Well, I think ADB now can distribute the tranquilizers across each pig's turn now. So he can look to use every second to do some head jumps, then tranquilize, gain the turn, and then switch to the next pig whose turn it will be. So
because it's this para next.
Yeah, and then the Sapper. As long as he remembers that, he also needs to body block as well. So he's going to save the tranquilizers. That's a good move. ADB, big brain coming in, but whether or not it will come in clutch, we will see.
Yeah, because what can the paratrooper realistically do?
I mean, Axby, do you go for big damage and say fuck it, just damage the medic, or do you play it safe with the machine gun? Ooh.
Since the medic is over 40, I would bazooka on the 2 medics.
Yeah. Although
that becomes 3 head jump to do for ADB, which is more work and doesn't really have much time and much turns left.
True, but he still has 2 tranquilizers.
No, 1 tranquilizer.
Oh, he's got 1 left. Okay, so he needs to he has to save it for the right moment in order to gain.
Now the only tranquilizable is the para, which will move in 2 turns. Because it's 15 and 19.
Yeah, so he has to kill the medic.
Now.
So now Revan, I think, has to...
No!
Oh! No! No! That's so unfortunate!
Oh, Revan.
Oh! But that is where the... Oh my god, that's where the momentum can suddenly shift, and all Revan needs to do now is deal the damage, and it should be enough. He just needs to place a TNT, yeah. Because then it becomes... yeah, oh my goodness, I mean...
He needs TNT correctly. If he does... Yeah, there's no way he's coming back from this one. It needs to be...
He doesn't want to kill the paratrooper, he just wants to lower him enough so that it's too much work for ADB to do. And that is perfect. 40 damage will do, unless the game says, screw you, I'm exploding. No, okay. He makes it back. Which means, I mean, I don't want to call it too soon, but it seems like too much work for ADB here.
Yeah, and he can't trank because no one is over, or he heals and tranks.
Ooh.
This could be the solution to it. You need to heal and trank the next one while dealing some kind of damage. And yeah, you need to kill the medic this time. If you screw this up now, okay.
Gets it second time around. Yeah, okay.
So now the medic is at 30-ish.
Yeah, I mean that is a. Oh my goodness.
24 now. It's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's just a question of the scoop now, yeah.
My goodness. Which means that for the very first time, Mr. Revan has made it to the Hogs of War League Grand Final. GG to the Ukrainian.
GG.
We don't get to see my baby Barnyard Blitz for round 5, but we will get to see it in round 1 for this next game. Just amazing plays from both. We got to see some awesome strategies. It was very, very close there to the end, but ADB grenade launcher not working in his favor, but now he knows how it feels, because last time I played ADB and a grenade launcher was involved, he got a lucky bounce back. So I know all too well the feelings of pain and relief when it comes to that weapon. But boys, final words on that insane round?
Yeah, for me, a deserved win from Revan. The huge difference between, you know, if we break down quickly the game, the first 2 games, the 2 player had like a trap set up and it worked. Gracinol really made a difference for me because Revan's plan did work out, but it was because ADB's first turn was, you know, not the best choice.
Yeah,
and he was able to build upon this, and you know, pitch invasion going first, medic on medic. It was kind of expected from Revan to go in, but nonetheless easy. So GG, and yeah, well deserved win for the Ukrainian player for me.
Very true. Metalman, final
thoughts? Yeah, just 3 just really well played games, and by both players, to be fair. Like, both seen some really good moves from both players. I think they both played really well. I think ADB just got a bit unlucky in a way.
He did, and it was, you've got to feel for him. It was apparently it's my fault. Thanks, Raven. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I think, had ADB to be making it all the way to the final. He hasn't since season 1, I believe, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, he hasn't made a grand final since then. but he has broken the curse of last season of not being able to make it past the quarterfinals. But Mr. Revan will be playing in the grand final for the first time. He is, of course, Grunt League champion as well of previous seasons past. But we now must indeed move on to the second semi-final, which will be Mephisto versus Nicholas. This was recorded earlier on in the day, so I do have to give a big shout out to Nicholas for putting the recordings together so that everything is clean and ready to go. So, I mean, if you boys are ready, I will share my screen with you so you can observe.
I will.
Yeah, you don't need to stream anymore, Metalman.
Yeah, I'll get rid of my screen share.
Cool.
Maybe we can have a minute break.
Yeah, we can go for a little. I mean, if you want to take a break, I'm happy to keep the stream going and discuss things with chat.
I really need to take a macchiatino break, so.
Yeah, you go ahead. Me and Ant can keep people occupied. Yes. But my goodness, I mean, again, GG.
I'm just wondering, should we go to the players? Should we go to Revan and ADB and get their thoughts on stuff?
I mean, if ADB and Revan are watching this, they can jump in. All right, tell you what, yeah, why not? Let's get their thoughts. I figured it's only fair, right?
Yeah, let's go invade their chat.
Tiny bit of damage more. That just.
GG
I
points.
think first turn on Grassy is just.
GG, guys.
I mean that is just GG to you because I fell for it.
You're both live. I wanted to get both of your thoughts on just that game in general.
Game in general.
I am just mad at myself, which is fine. Like that's always how I feel after losing. It's just
Okay,
I don't
ADB
know.
is tilted, so it's better me who will be speaking. Cold Front, honestly impressed. Honestly impressed. First shrapnel. We can say it kinda lucky, because it killed my guy and I was not able, not only, get those trunks via poison, but also I was not able to reserve Moma, and at this point I could have just shoot Tranquilizer in the air.
Yeah,
It
that
was cool
was the plan.
strategy. Yeah,
that
cool.
was the plan to give you a turn where you couldn't tranquilize anyone.
Yeah, like great turn. Chill Hill is kinda.
Kind of.
I was very
Gotta
bored,
love
to
those
be honest.
spawns, gotta.
Yeah. Like I was very bored on Chill Hill. Like last probably how much was it? 20 minutes. Okay, last 10 minutes I was like, okay, let's just go to Grassy and stop trying.
I mean that's what I do. I try to like tire
yeah.
you out.
I
even
mean-
if the game is already out.
Yeah, it's kind of good strategy. It's
The
kinda
mind
good
games in Chill were very high tier to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, those shots from artillery, 0 damage.
Yeah.
On Grassy, it's kind of funny how ADB fell for it. Maybe he was, I don't know,
I just never was
thinking about it. Maybe like that.
Yeah, exactly. I just never was posed the question, you know?
It was interesting because it was Revan's round 3 was kind of exactly as you did on round 1, ADB, in that you.
Yeah. That's like exactly what I told Revan at the end.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Honestly, it was a really great change of strategy. The viewers enjoyed it very much, and just GG Revan. You made it to the grand final.
And I also appreciate ADB on Pitch Invasion when he thought that I was lagging and not just brain dead because of running towards the minefield.
Oh, you were like.
I was just.
I thought you were brain dead, but okay.
No. I like to make sure.
And I'm happy we are
That's
not
it.
going to Barnyard because I was very unsure today. But yeah, grand final.
Well,
cool,
you had
cool.
2 gunners, so
Yeah.
I like Gunners.
I know. It's just Pitch Invasion is a bit salty for me because it was my weakest lineup. I knew that it was my weakest lineup because of the missing scout.
Yeah.
But in the end, that one mistake from Revan opened up the game again. And it just, from that point on, whenever I needed that tiny little push of luck, it just didn't go well. Like I got extra damage from everything. And at
To
the
be
end, I
honest,
just made a
like,
stupid mistake in leaving the supper on
greatest
19.
opportunity you get is from killing your poison engineer, so your medic will be reversing Momo. I think this is like game changing on Pitch Invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for him not to die because at least I would have grouped up your both of your guys like it was right next to each other with I think 2 jetpacks.
I
So
was
that would have been
really
a
hoping
big
he will
damage.
not die, or he will not die. But it is what it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, gotta try again next year, I guess.
Yeah,
Either way,
pretty
I
much.
mean, GG for a great semi-final. I look forward to seeing you in the final, Revan.
But who is my opponent, Pinstripe?
We will find out. Versus
Very soon,
Mephisto
after
versus
the commercial.
Nicholas. Brought to you by